Welcome, everybody. We are going to start the public hearing. I'm going to turn it over to Bruce.
Thank you, Mayor. We do have a public hearing tonight. The legal advertisement for the public hearing was in the Daily News Journal on May 27th, 2016, so it does meet the requirements for this public hearing. There's one item on the agenda. It's ordinance 2016-03, an ordinance of the City of Laverne, Tennessee, adopting the annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2016 through June 30th, 2017. Now, this is a public hearing. Anybody can speak on this specific ordinance, and there is no 3-minute time period for the public hearing. So please, if anyone would like to speak on this ordinance, now is your opportunity to approach the podium and make your comments. Sure. And please state your name and address for the record so we can put it in the minutes.
5 on Nashville Highway. Appreciate you guys allowing us to speak tonight on this ordinance. Would this be for the actual fiscal year for the 2016, right, Bruce?
This is next year's fiscal budget, yes.
Okay.
16-17.
All right. As you know, I filed a complaint against the mayor and 2 aldermen on what I thought was illegal transferring, giving funds to a nonprofit organization. The district attorney sent me a package, which you've also received it. It's not illegal. Everything you guys have done has been within the law. With that said, the words unethical have really came out. And also with the assistance of the district attorney's office, they kind of sent me a different direction. And going back to what my original argument was, allocating funds for the rescue squad, in my opinion, it was, you guys were running for office, you were allowing, some funds to go back to them because we can't seem to find justification why why we're giving them any money. So going back to a meet and greet that was advertised, Laverne Rescue Unit, back in September 20th during that campaign for Alderman Brown, it clearly states it's a meet and greet at the Laverne Rescue Squad unit. With the help of several people at Rutherford County that have said it's not illegal to give them the money because it was voted on by the board, they sent me in the direction of the tax exemption status, 501c3. In order to maintain, and I'll quote it, in order to maintain tax exempt status, 501c3, nonprofit organizations cannot engage in political campaigning. Nonprofits with 501c3 tax exempt status should be never vigilant about this prohibition. A violation could result in severe consequences. And this is the tax code. The federal tax law is very strict on these issues of political campaigning. A 501c3 organization is absolutely forbidden. The words absolutely forbidden is in the tax code to directly or indirectly participate in any political campaign on behalf of an opposed campaign or someone against them. Forbidden, absolutely forbidden. To any candidate or elective public office. Violations of this prohibition could lead the IRS to completely revoke the organization's tax-exempt status or oppose excessive taxes on your organization. Which what that means is they can go back to the date, September 20th, and charge them the taxes that they should be paying if they're going to be involved with assisting in political campaigns. In other words, the IRS is serious about the issue. and your board of directors, they would have, and officers should be equally serious in making sure that your organization complies with federal law in this area. Keyword, federal law. What does participating in a political campaign mean? Organizations with 501c3 cannot participate in political campaigns. Going back to the meet and greet, September 20th, during Ms. Brown's election. What is a political campaign in general? The IRS rules refers to the campaigns between people who are running for offices in public elections. These can include candidates running for president of the United States, candidates running for governor, candidates running for mayor, and candidates also running for lower elected officials such as school board officials, city supervisors, and commissioners. Define commissioner as an alderman. It's pretty much the same. It is the same. What is participating? Your organization cannot participate in a campaign directly or indirectly on behalf of or in opposing to a candidate. So what this is saying, if you have a meet and greet for Melissa Brown, they should have advertised it and had a meet and greet for all the other candidates that was there. If your organization takes a stand in any campaign supporting or opposing one or another candidate, the violations are to the rule. The IRS rule. The IRS, the use is called a fact. A fact, circumstances. Test to help determine whether or not an organization has violated this prohibition in a political campaign. This means that the IRS will evaluate any potential misconduct on the organization. So going back to what the DA said, you guys haven't violated any laws because you voted on it, you passed it, and it was approved. However, if you pass the agenda tonight, giving the rescue squad this money, and knowingly that they have violated these rules, that's where I got you. This means that the IRS will evaluate any potential misconduct with the context of the organization, other than activities, the current political climate. We all understand what the current political climate is, right? That would be members running for elected office, going to the rescue squad, having a meet and greet there on their property. That would be activities, okay? I just want to make sure we're clear because I usually get in here and act a fool. So any of this activity may be considered and shall, the word shall, be unlawful. May, shall. You're the attorney. That's what you always get me on, may and shall. That's that word, shall. Some activities of the IRS can be found in violation and prohibited on political campaigning, including inviting, number one, inviting a political candidate to make a campaign speech or to host an event to come meet them. Ms. Brown, you're in clear violation. The rescue squad's in violation. Do you plan to pass that budget tonight? Because the mayor's off the hook. You're not. Using the organization's funds to publish materials, they didn't publish anything. Several Facebook ads published it, using their name, their address, and their incorporation. Any statements from the organization can and will be used. Let's get down to the last one. Criticizing and supporting a candidate for an organization's website. Inviting one candidate to speak, well publicized. These are violations. Inviting a candidate to speak at an event arranged by a third party. And I'm going to click back over here to meet and greet Melissa Brown Concerned citizens of Laverne Rescue Unit, 141 Gamble Lane, Laverne, Tennessee. It's got the date and time. That would be our third party. Conducting a get out to vote is allowed. Conducting a get out to vote is allowed. A meet and greet is not. Right here. You guys are welcome to read it. So what I asked the city, for the first time, I actually agree with the DA. The mayor didn't do anything wrong. Okay? I filed the police report. The DA said he hasn't violated any laws. With that said, you've assisted Ms. Brown, and you were one of the three that I named, in violating the tax code to a 501c3 nonprofit organization that our city is giving money to. So tonight is a very important vote for you and this board, because if the board knowingly is going to pass this without further review, there's going to be some responsibility there. And even the people that I don't like sitting on the board, you actually make judgment calls sometimes that are in my favor. And this would be a judgment call that would be in the best interest of the city of Laverne taxpayers. Now I'm going to click over. I love speaking without a 3-minute window. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me at this city. All right. Click over to a text message that I received from the city manager. I asked for a meeting with Mayor Waldron. Obviously, Mayor Waldron doesn't want to meet with me. I went through the proper channels, the city manager. I really didn't think it was going to happen anyways. His response, May 23rd, 11:01 a.m. Hi, Matt. Just an update. I talked to the mayor, and he told me that he is not interested in meeting with you regarding the rescue squad, but didn't seem too opposed to reducing the donation amount. I talked to Vice Mayor Green, and she thought that if we wasn't a need for their services, the donation amount could be reduced. I'm going to talk to the other council members, but they are all out of town. They're in Las Vegas. My response. Thank you for the follow-up, Bruce. I would like to know the other board members, what they think a reduction to the $15,000 is a sign of compromise. I don't think they should get anything because no one can justify what they do. With that said, sometimes you have to compromise. Thank you for your help with this situation. So the city manager has a quote from the vice mayor. I want to read that to you one more time. Mayor Green said she thought that if there wasn't a need for their services, our vice mayor said if there's not a need for their services, it can be reduced. Pretty powerful statement. So we understand the tax code. I'm sure the attorney understands the tax code. It was advertised. Ms. Brown is in the position to vote for this. And at the end of my paperwork from the DA, you guys got the packet. It clearly says, if there's anything you can bring me, he would also look into it. But wait, there's more. The feds seem to be interested in this. So I don't even have to go to our Rutherford County DA. I think this will go to 8th and Broad. I'm really excited about being here tonight. Thank you for allowing me to speak, and I'll finish up when I have my 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Once again, this is the public hearing for the budget ordinance, which is ordinance 2016-03. If there's anyone else here that would like to speak on this specific ordinance, please approach the podium at this time and make comments. If you'll be sure to state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, I'm Debbie Hewen, and I live on Randall Lane in Lake Forest. And I didn't know we were going to have a public hearing on this, but I wanted to say something. I've been hearing that y'all are lowering the taxes and everything, and I know lower taxes sounds really good and everything, but not if it's going to cut services. So I hope if you're lowering taxes, you're still factoring in to where we can still add more police officers that are really, really needed, and some of the other things that we still really need. I would rather pay a little bit more on my property taxes and know that I can go to the grocery store and come back home and my door hadn't been kicked in or something. So please consider, if you are going to lower the taxes, please consider, making sure there's still room to add all the police officers and everything else that our city needs to keep it safe and keep the infrastructure running. And that's all I've got to say on this subject. So thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Is there anyone else who would like to speak on ordinance 2016-03?
I'm Jason Cole, live at 7115 Beard Court. Got some concerns about the budget because I don't see where we are addressing as far as paving roads where that budget, I know in the past we got on a regular schedule with paving our roads and making sure that the infrastructure is there. And I know we have some roads that haven't been paved in 5 years, 10 years, and I've got a very big concern that we're not following through with that. Mayor Waldron, I know you said during the budget workshops you believe this is the best budget ever, but when we're letting our infrastructure crumble and then we're not really funding the police department fully, I know Chief Walker had requested 22 new officers, basically saying that the men and women, this is what we needed to get up to the average. And we're going with 3. Public safety shouldn't be thrown out basically out the door for political promises. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Once again, this is ordinance 2016-03, the public hearing for the budget ordinance. Is there anyone else who would like to speak on this specific ordinance? Last call to speak on ordinance 2016-03, an ordinance to adopt the annual budget and tax rate for fiscal year 2016-2017. Mayor, seeing no one else approach the podium to speak, I declare this item closed. Turn it back over to you.
Being after 6:45, we'll just move right into citizens' comments.
If you can give me a couple minutes.
Okay.